Panago Pizza presents SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wylde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
You know, Steve,
Yes, Adam.
whenever we hang out together, I always say, Steve, if you just live generously, life will treat you royally.
And I always say, why not?
Right.
Wait, you haven't asked that yet.
Why not?
Why not?
Pour yourself and a friend of Crown Royal, because we're going to talk about who wore the crown like we do every episode, where we, with the help of you, recognize one Leaf player each week, well, each show. I got to amend that script.
Yeah.
Who gives it all for the blue and white, because it's our town, it's our crown, and it's not about what you have, it's what you have to give.
Why not? Someone told me to
Why
say
not?
why
That's
not.
funny.
You're
Let's crown a
more
Leaf
clever than I
that
am.
lives generously by giving it all for their team. Brought to you by friends at Crown Royal. Live life generously, and life will treat you royally. Let us get into it. Sir,
Yes.
who are you crowning?
Well, Adam, you might be aware of this. The top line / second line, it literally just depends on our mood that day. Whatever line you call the Tavares Marner line.
I call it the Tavares Marner line.
The Tavarner.
Tavarner.
line. Sure.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
You guys.
I know.
Rough.
It's a rainy
No, it's
day,
very
man.
good.
You know what you guys look like? The Leafs
Handsome.
within the first 5 minutes.
Whoa.
Wow.
We
no
didn't,
slow starts or nothing.
we didn't
my
show
God.
up on time
You didn't.
No.
for our own show.
No, there are. We'll get into that later. Kapanen, Kasperi Kapanen is the other guy on that line replacing Zach Hyman. Except yesterday he was replaced, so the crown obviously has to go to Mike Babcock.
I like this pick. I like this pick a lot.
I ride that guy real hard. I at the end of the day, he's just trying to do good. What he thinks is good, trying to make the team good, and hopefully it's a team full of good players and good men.
Nice.
How's that?
Nice. See, I like that pick a lot.
Yeah.
Now,
He did the thing.
He
It was
the thing.
a little adjustment. I don't know how much difference it made, but he made it.
I'm going to give it to Trevor Moore. And John Tavares is a close second, but I'm going to give it to Trevor Moore because of the results he helped to create.
Yes.
So you give it to Mike for making the change. I give it to Trevor Moore for saying, okay, now I'm actually going to go out and prove you right. Because that's the thing. Mike can only be 50% of that. Trevor's actually got to go out and do stuff. Now, if you ask Mike Stevens, who for sure, if he was in a bar last night, was flipping out.
Making out with the TV. Loves him. I think he loves Trevor Moore than I love James Reimer.
Wow. You think, yeah?
For real. Yes.
Must be the big booty. Trevor Moore booty.
Gotta be.
Can't move him. He went out there and he did. It was like he's programmed exactly like Zach Hyman, or at least in that particular role, he knew exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And Kasperi Kapanen, I think we'll get into this after the segment's done. Kasperi Kapanen seemed to not get his head around exactly what it is they needed him to do. He has the tools, but it seems like he's got a way of playing, and that's his way, and that's what he plays. Whereas Trevor Moore seems to be a little bit more
Versatile
and a little bit, maybe not as high skilled, but definitely somebody that you can plug and play in a few more situations than you would think.
Perfect way of putting it. I think Kapanen has higher end talent, and Moore can just do more things.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And producer Jesse.
Well, let me tell you something.
How's he gonna do it?
Today's crown goes to John Akey.
John Akey.
John Akey.
John Akey. Who the hell is that?
JPakey99, if you want his Twitter handle.
All right.
Because he tagged me in a tweet. And he said, "Do I hear another crown being awarded to him?" Who would that him be?
It's got to be John Tavares. He scored a goal last
No,
night.
that's ridiculous.
Clapping shit bombs like a man.
That's ridiculous. That him is William Nylander. Because William Nylander
It's hot.
dominated the Wylde territorially based on a bunch of charts and thingies I don't understand.
Let me see.
People smarter than I
Yeah, no, I've never seen that.
called Mika Blake McCurdy at ineffective
Micah.
Mika is how it's spelled. So I'm calling him Mika, ineffective math on Twitter. put together this handy chart that explains why William Nylander actually deserves the crown today. But I don't understand it, but I'm going to trust the chart.
That looks like a rug. Doesn't it?
It does.
You got to throw that on the
Is it
screen.
a chart or a heat map?
No,
Yes.
it's a yes.
No, I think it's a heat map.
Is there
of
No,
sorts.
it's a different kind of heat map, though.
Ah.
He Ineffective Math has his own heat chart, I guess.
Would you look
but-
at this? Okay, here's me looking.
That's always my favorite thing. I'm like, please explain. I'm stupid.
No, and then I read the replies, and the replies that guess he's good, huh? And I'm like, yep. All right, so I've gathered blue is good. All right. Red,
Yeah.
you don't want that. So William Nylander, because of the rug.
Yes, it
Excellent.
says 16 minutes. 7. Don't know what those numbers refer to on the tableau, but they refer to something very good. And he did it in 16 minutes.
Listen,
I'll
this
take
was,
your word for it, man.
this was a long drive
William
down a
Nylander,
bumpy
everyone.
road to
Greatest
give
player
William
of all
Nylander
time.
the third crown.
An iceberg there, just
Excuse me. I am tasked with awarding a crown.
Is it cold in here?
I am tasked with awarding a crown each week, and you cannot take away my crown.
Sorry.
Damn.
And I think the man who has 3 crowns on his jersey in Calgary deserves
In Calgary. From Calgary.
from Calgary
This is
deserves
go-
the crown.
You're giving us hell for the joke we made
Hey.
earlier on, man.
Hey, I'm just joining the team here. If our rush is slow, I can't speed it up.
Yeah, we're as fast as the slowest person today.
Well, here you go.
That's who wore the crown for this week. Brought to you as always by Crown Royal. Next time the puck drops, why not?
Why not?
Live generously and treat your Leafs crew to a crown old fashioned. Now, how would you like to see the Leafs in person?
I turn it down.
You'd turn it down? You'd say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell Crown to give that back.
Well, I'm not asking you.
Oh.
See, we already got tickets to the game
That's
because
true.
they were nice enough to send us.
Crown's like, yeah, we're not inviting you again, Steve.
So the reason we got those tickets is so we could scout them out and we could do a little social media so that you could see where you're going to sit when you win tickets to the game.
They're
Are
actually-
you ready for that?
Very nice seats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're great seats.
They're right at Sean McKenzie screaming level.
Yes, and you almost got him. Now, a post went up about 3 hours ago at the time of this recording for Crown Royal Canada on Facebook. We will tweet the link, and it's in the description below on YouTube, so you can check this out. All you have to do is click the link, whatever. Contest for this closes Friday, and by the way, the game is Saturday night. Who do the Leafs play Saturday night? Jesse, don't look it up.
Is it
Oh,
You already know.
Boston?
Jesse, thoughts?
Buffalo.
Boston.
Boston.
It is Boston.
Now, this is not the... I thought this was the Hutchison game, and I was going to get very mad that Hutchison was going to play another
No,
hockey
Hutchison
night in
game's
Canada
tonight.
against rival.
Hutchinson's game tonight.
No, Hutchison's tonight. The Leafs play the Bruins on Saturday, and they have, I think, one day off, and then it's another back-to-back with the Bruins on the back half.
Right.
So they play the Bruins two times in 3 games.
So the Maple Leafs play the Bruins Saturday night in Toronto, and thanks to Crown Royal, you all have the chance to win tickets to the game. But it's not always about what you get. It's about what you give, as we've said. So we're going to be tweeting out the link this afternoon, like I said. Click it. Tell Crown Royal in this contest, by the way, how you've been inspired to act generously. And you could be in the house for the huge game. Crown Royal, live generously, life will treat you royally. So again, when we give you the link, make sure you tell us how you've been inspired to act generously in your life. And it can be anything. It can be anything you want.
Why not?
Whenever you've been generous, let us know. And also, if you could help us out a little bit, when you do comment on the Facebook post, leave a little hashtag STP, just so they know who sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool?
Why not?
Why not?
Hashtag STP. Hashtag why not?
So anyway, Leafs last night. Minnesota. Not a real team. We'll get to that.
Made up. Fairy tale.
So the Leafs really don't know when a game starts.
Oh my God. No.
Are
Adam,
people saying that's a bad narrative?
There is no difference between good things and bad things.
You idiot.
Imbecile.
You
You
moron.
fucking moron.
What? Okay, what is that from?
It's a drill tweet.
It's a drill
Can you
tweet.
turn off the fan?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sorry.
man. Sure.
It's a drill tweet.
And
And
it's like so in the context, because it took me a while to understand that tweet. For anybody that would need some context for that.
Well, because Justin
People
Fisher
use it
brings
all
it
the
up
time.
once a day.
Yeah, because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But in this particular context, why do you use it there?
It's a myth. Like,
Is it a myth?
I just follow a bunch of people. Oh, I'll just say heart of. It's dude. They've been scored on first 6 out of 7 times. That's bad.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of them have been in the first 5 minutes. Yesterday was 6. Come on. I don't care if they're out shooting them. Like, you know what? I do a little bit. You know what I care more about though? It's priorities.
Mm-hmm.
That's priority 2. Priority number 1. Don't get friggin' scored on. Stop it! It's Minnesota. And look at how the goal sucked ass.
It was a bad
Did you
goal.
see it?
It was a bad goal.
It was terrible.
There's no one covering 2 guys.
2 guys.
I don't understand how that happens.
I don't.
You know what
get
the
it.
Leafs said?
Freddie had no shot.
Why not?
Why not? Abandon our coverage. Why not? Why not? Like, communicate, do anything. I didn't even know who to blame it on.
Who was the defense pairing out? Riley Ceci?
No, it was
Muzzin,
Barry
wasn't it?
Muzzin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Muzzin was at one side of the net. Barry had a guy, followed that guy. Matthews was also in front of the net. So it was 2 guys to 1. And Barry had his guy, but in the process, they somehow, in the span of a second, forgot about that one guy, both of them, or Muzzin had to go through Matthews, and that was impossible. So all of a sudden, Freddie's facing an uncontested shot and a full screen. I'm sorry, that's a good start? Yeah, well, No! No! Details!
Is it that it's
Details
not?
is what leads to shit like that.
Is it that, Steve? Is it that they're not, it's not that they're not starting well. It's just that they don't defend well, so it's kind of par for the course throughout the entire game.
They have no interest in defending, according to the Minnesota Wild feed.
That was great.
Wes Walls.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
I don't mind homer.
I don't mind home team broadcasters being homers.
Yeah, I don't mind that
And
either.
Boston's the worst for it.
Well, because Jack
But-
Edwards is like,
Shocker.
Jack Edwards sometimes pushes it over the line, and you're like, man, like, one thing to support your team, another to be like, Roman Polak, you had that coming. Oh, he broke his neck. Oh, that's a shame. I won't apologize for
I
it.
still say he had it coming. Oh, that's karma.
Little hockey karma.
But if you're a Boston Bruins fan, you love Jack Edwards.
yeah,
Yeah. So I don't
absolutely.
care. We have Joe Bowen.
Joe's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jesse. You're like one of those politicians who compares like weed to crack.
You know.
Joe Bowen is not Jack Edwards.
But I do it the other way. I say, if weed's gonna be legal, might as well legalize heroin and crack as well.
Is Joe Bowen a gateway drug to Jack Edwards?
Man.
First you're listening to Joe Bowen. Next thing you know, it's Jack Edwards with the Sirhan
So
thing.
yeah, I don't mind that.
About Matt.
I thought you were
Remember that?
I thought you were a little hard on them for being fans
I
of the
wasn't
team.
hard on them.
They-
Fans of the team. Wes Walls used to play for the friggin' Minnesota Wild.
So he's a
Yeah,
fan.
so he's a fan of the team.
That's true.
And he's rooting for the team. And he's in the broadcast booth.
And
Who
he's
cares?
also one of those guys that always got selected in expansion drafts. I think he was selected like 3 different times. Like he was always like the throw in at the trade too.
Classic. I hope he plays on a good team one day. Guy.
Yeah,
He had
yeah,
a few playoff runs.
Sure, I
When
think
Minnesota
Detroit
randomly decided to stop allowing goals.
yeah. There you go.
Remember that?
So yeah, I mean, I don't think the Leafs have allowed the first goal in 6 of 7 games. If you want to make the argument to me that they've started well, you're sorry, flatly you're wrong. You're flatly wrong. There is no arguing it. You're wrong, and it's okay to be wrong, but back off. You're wrong.
Yeah.
They've cleaned
Don't
it up
be
afterwards.
smug about how wrong you are.
Yeah, like
That's not an insignificant number.
No.
6 of 7 is something that's happening.
that would be.
And for at least a year now, it's been shitty first 5 minutes.
Yep.
Shitty first 5 to 10, and then the remainder of the first is fuck. And then by the end of it, they often break even because they're a good team. But it doesn't take away from the fact that they started shitty.
And they're second in the league in scoring, so that takes up a lot of that gives them a lot of leeway to do some crazy shit. Because I mean, last year weren't they the highest scoring team in the league in the second period? And
Oh, I
it was
don't
like
know
some
that.
crazy.
That's a very specific stat.
Well, it was some
They were
crazy,
last night.
It was some crazy stat because I remember hearing it going, that is bizarre.
Yeah.
But they were awful in the first. I believe in the second period they would just explode.
Which is weird because Matthews in his remember in his rookie year, like all his goals were first period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would always be the second person to score because it'd be somebody on the other team first.
Right? Yeah.
And then Matthews. He'd come back and tie it.
It's true. Very, very true. Now, I got a question about those tough starts though. We talk about commitment to defense. We talk about covering our guys. There's another player on the ice that never gets brought up, or like has not got brought up in the slow starts category. Not once this season, anyway. And that person is Freddie Andersen.
Not this one. I agree.
I think we need to start talking about Freddie Andersen being October Freddie Andersen.
No, we absolutely do not.
Yes, we do. I was having a
That's also something that I've seen thrown around 1,000 times. And no, he wasn't October Freddie Andersen last year.
Not last year, but the year before, and the year before that, and the year
Yeah.
before that. So maybe last year is just one October that he happened to be on.
That's the outlier.
That happens.
Adam, what are you saying?
I was talking to Sean Tierney, Charting Hockey, today, and he posted a graph
Sure,
that I understood.
Heat map hockey or
No, it's Charting
sorry,
Hockey.
go ahead.
Heat map hockey. No,
It's a shitty joke.
I'm sure Sean
See,
appreciates
it's great
it.
when people laugh.
So Sean posted a graph that you can check out on his page at Charting Hockey, which you should follow, even if you don't fully understand everything. And this is why I reached out to Sean. Not only are we in the same fantasy hockey league together, see, this is why I'm learning. But I reached out to him and said, listen, man,
What did on-ice coursing in a fantasy pool guy have to say?
What did your backwards ass fantasy league have
I
to
got
say?
16 shots, so I scored.
That
No,
doesn't.
you were
oh.
on the ice for 16 shots. What is in the presence of 16 shot attempts that don't even necessarily hit the net equals a goal?
It's a Jonas.
guy have to say.
It's a Jonas Hoagland goal.
right?
What?
He was a Swedish winger in the late 90s who basically was a passenger on the Sundin line for 3 years. Tierney says this. I said,
Also,
listen.
once got traded by the Leafs, except the trade didn't go through because the fax machine broke.
Said, hey, man, I got a question for you regarding your graph this morning on goalies, specifically Freddie Andersen. Does your graph show that he hasn't totally been up to his normal plays? Like, hey, Adam, yeah, that's right. I have Andersen as 6 more goals allowed than we'd expect based on the quality and quantity of shots he's faced. And I said, that's interesting. Is that based on him or is that team play? Like, can you isolate a goalie? And he said, only Dubnyk, Holtby, and Bobrovsky and Brossoit
Brasoit.
Leonard Boursois.
have been worse. And by the way, Pens fans, Brossoit, one of the worst in terms of expected goals against. Just throwing that out there.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
But they said it's
But he doesn't.
if a goalie
Jet.
is
He
facing.
plays for the Jets, Adam.
I know, but the Pens
they
beat him.
them.
Ah.
They remember they're like,
okay.
oh, we beat the Jets 7-4. Lauren Brossoit.
Boursois.
Adam versus Pittsburgh is not what I
Someone
predicted.
asked for a T-shirt.
If a
Should we
goalie,
make it?
Adam versus Pittsburgh?
No. Laurent Boursois.
Brossoit team.
we
Yeah.
should. With the Brossoit.
Boursois team. We should make it.
So he said, if a goalie is facing more quality shots, we expect them to allow more goals. This chart accounts for it, which is why John Gibson is always looks great, even though Anaheim hangs him out to dry. He said, and I was like, that's pretty incredible data. He said, basically, Toronto is managing shot quantity and quality well, but they've been let down by Andersen so far. He does this every year, and it never lasts long. He's more of a November guy.
I do believe it this year. I believe it. It's just the first goal last night. I was
Oh,
like,
no, and I'm not
Jesus.
saying the first goal
okay,
last night,
good,
but maybe we ought to mention it.
he's had some really bad goals going.
He let in 2 goals over the course of the entire preseason. Everybody thought, Freddie's back. I don't think he's there yet. Or 1 goal.
Like the Shattenkirk goal from Tampa, I still say it's more of an indictment of Riley. That was terrible. Jesus. Freddie's got to stop
You got to have that.
And there was one. It was one of the earlier games of the season. I'm trying to remember who it was. Was it the first game? Was it Ottawa? It was just a shot. Like it was just a coming down the wing shot, and not from Phil Kessel. Like that's not supposed to go in.
Right.
Not on a guy who I keep calling him a top 10 goalie in the league. He's at least top 15.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without question.
My only thing is that I look at the Leafs' losses, the Montreal, St. Louis, Tampa, and I don't pin any of them on Freddie.
Yeah. Well, Montreal definitely not. He wasn't in net. but
Oh, yeah, he wasn't in net. So it's like, okay, he might be slow, but he hasn't cost them any games.
But
what
if
was it?
he's
St. Louis was the other one.
Yeah, St.
Yeah.
Louis and
Yeah.
Tampa are the only 2 losses he has this year.
But in 7 games, if he's let in 6 more goals over the course of not 7 games, I guess for him, but he was
That'll
letting
give
6
them
more
a
goals
chance
than they
at
expected.
forcing overtime against Tampa.
Yeah, right.
No, listen.
It's small sample
He hasn't
size.
been wonderful.
No.
he's been good enough.
Absolutely, no
He's been
question.
good enough.
Every game they should have won, they should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, except for the Montreal one, but that wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
Every
Right.
Freddie start, yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned it before. Mike Babcock making the change for Trevor Moore. When you saw that, did you go, okay, great, this lasts a shift? Because that's my instant thought. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's going to try this like he tried Patan for 30 seconds last year.
No, because last night was an ice surfing night, which is chaos. So I missed I missed Moore's first shift.
Oh.
And I just see all these tweets. I'm like, oh, shit. So I look up, and sure enough, like, I think their first shift of the second period.
Yeah.
Goes
Well,
in.
And the interesting part about it is I've never seen John Tavares shoot a puck like that.
How?
That's why I almost gave him the crown. I'm like, you can shoot?
Dude.
What?
Oh, he could shoot.
But, like,
not a clapper.
The one where
I didn't know he had
When
that.
he scored from like the boards?
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, that never happens.
All right, if you're captain, you got to be on the bench. Like, come on, man. Look at Trevor Moore working in the corner, the sticklet. Dude, he bombed a clapper from a shit spot on the ice.
That Trevor
and it went
Moore-
bar down.
That Trevor Moore didn't touch. It was swinging around the boards. Trevor Moore stepped over it, and which was the right thing to do.
Yes,
it was
yes.
intentional. He did it intentionally.
We're giving him credit for not touching the puck.
Watch the
Dude,
replay.
it's-
Look up
yeah,
Twitter's got it.
fine.
Yes, we got to give that.
All right.
We got to give that. But then, yeah.
Well, it was probably Tavares in the first place who was like, don't touch it.
Right.
Leave it. I don't know.
But I have never seen John Tavares, at least as a Leaf. I'm sure Islander fans saw it for years. I never saw him do that. Never seen him do that.
That is one encouraging thing. I mean, the defense is still a work in progress, but the Leafs offensively, and especially on the power play, although that was an even strength goal, I'm like, oh, you got a new bag of tricks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Tavares had a clapper like that. I didn't know Janssen had the shot that we saw on the power play against Tampa. I didn't know he had that little spinorama move to Marner. I didn't know Marner had this kind of shot. I didn't know Matthews had that kind of one-timer. An already lethal team has got a brand new bag of tricks. It's
great.
It's a lot of fun.
It's really good. Now,
lot of fun.
Are we surprised, and do we believe that Mike Babcock sticks with this? Because usually we have to wait till about game 40, 45 before he makes any changes to the lineup.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. Why is that?
Well, he likes more.
Mm-hmm.
We know that he likes more. And what changed my opinion, because I think only 2 games ago I was like, no, give him a chance. They look fed up. That line looks fed up. Marner looks fed up. Tavares looks fed up.
We talked about that a little bit,
yeah.
that picture that's been circulating.
Yeah. Well, and Kapanen's too good of a player and too valuable of a player to this team to have his confidence assassinated so early in the season. Like, do you think he feels good about himself right now?
No, he doesn't.
That's terrible. And he's like out there killing a penalty right after Tavares scores that goal or something like that. Can't feel good to be Kasperi Kapanen, and like he knows what people are saying. But I mean, Trevor Moore earned his spot. It's going to be hard to send him down to the 4th line.
I don't think Trevor Moore's going to the 4th line.
Zach Hyman probably gets eased back in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also think that Mikheyev goes to the 4th line.
So what would
I don't know.
So when Hyman comes back, which looks like it's sooner rather than later, where are we putting Kapanen and Moore?
I think you put Kapanen, Moore, and Kerfoot together on the 3rd. Listen, I'm not asking people to like this.
Right.
But I also don't hate a guy as good as Mikheyev on the 4th line. Someone's going to get injured at some point. So that's not going to last forever.
Sure.
But pretty sweet line to have. And Mikheyev, you got to remember, the guy's like not even 10 games into his NHL career. He's the guy that slides.
I just don't feel like this is the team that we see in December.
What do
Like
you mean?
personnel-wise.
You think there's a trade coming?
There's something up. There's something very strange.
Now, if Steve says this for 20 games, Jesse, and it happens, does that mean he was right? Or
I
did
said December.
Or did he hold on to his prediction long enough? Because that's what I'm saying. 20 games from
If
now.
you say something for long enough, it'll probably just come true.
I think this team isn't the team we see in 2025. It's not going to happen. It just can't.
Man, that's Brian Burke-esque. You know, in 2025, Matthews deals up. So,
I
She's
drafted
leaving.
someone in 2004, and they're in the league right now. So I think I know what I'm talking about.
I might know a thing or two. Buckaroo. So
Buckaroo.
Can you guys not shit on a Rogers employee, actually?
no, I would
you
call him.
not?
I would say this to his face.
Hey, Berkey.
Hey, Berkey. Stop arousing the anxiety of Leafs Nation.
From the
Morgan
other side of
Riley
the mic.
ties the franchise record for assists in a period with 4.
And very nondescript. I almost forgot to mention it in the video today because they were all secondary assists.
Yeah, no one's making a big deal of it, but it's a good thing.
Franchise record.
Marner gets his first point 5-on-5
Yep.
later in the game.
Another thing I wasn't worried about.
No. And it was
Power
nice.
play goals count.
And yeah, exactly. It was
count.
nice. I think because we are predisposed to and I think believe in what advanced stats bring.
Yeah.
For a long time, power play points inflated a player's point totals.
Yes.
So it made you think the player was better than they really were. Like Jason Allison's a perfect example of that. Not a great player, but good on the power play. And was a good player for his time. But then when the game sped up, you're like, whoa, he can't really skate anymore.
Yeah.
But he's like a good pivot on the power play, I guess. And still scored 60-something points with the Leafs that one year.
That's some people. This is gonna make me sound so old, but the first month or so of the 05-06 season was so trippy as a hockey fan because you just watched so many guys who they were older but they were still good, and they have just taken a year off, and the rules have changed hardcore.
Yeah.
And they hit the ice, and you're like, oh, they're off to a slow start, and after a month, you're like, oh, they don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's just it's gone.
It was a huge. It's the biggest change the sports scene rules wise, I think, in my lifetime.
Ever
Yeah.
at one time. Yeah, ever.
All at
Since the
once,
forward
yeah.
pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly.
All at once.
But it was sort of, I think what I was going for there is, we put a lot into 5-on-5, right? It's like, well, how are they doing 5-on-5? Because that's a true indication of how great they are as a player. And I think that's very true.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we discount the other thing. It's sort of an adjunct. It's like, and they get a bunch of power play points.
Right. I know Marner's good. I know Tavares is good.
Yeah.
I know Kapanen's good.
It's
They didn't work.
It's the Ryan DeZingles of the world that you don't want to trade for because they've got inflated power play points. But
is
Mitch
he one
Marner's
of them?
good. Well, he's a guy that had 25 goals last year. Come on.
Yeah.
Somebody had to be scoring.
Except now
and
he's
it was
on
him.
Carolina, so I assume he's amazing.
He's probably going to have 1 million.
Yeah.
In this regard, you knew Marner was going to come around on this.
Yeah.
You knew Tavares was going
Marner.
to come around. And
He's good.
I think Tavares has quietly had a point a game anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's unless Marinson had an assist last night, which I don't think he did. Every single player who has skated for the Toronto Maple Leafs this season has at least a point
Really?
already. And consider how many players have played, and that's all the Justin Hall's got a point. Sundin had a point. All the guys getting the fourth line auditions. Marinson, I think, is the only one,
Really?
unless he has a point. Are you saying?
I'm looking right now. Marincin is the only one who does not have a point.
Yeah, and Freddie and Hutchison don't have an assist yet.
Okay.
I know. It's a shame.
leaving
Hutchison is looking for his first career point. He's going to get it against Boston Saturday night.
So if Mitch Marner starts with a
Wait,
slow...
no, he's not. Tonight.
If Mitch Marner starts with a slow 7 games,
Yes.
does it make you feel better that he's still leading the team in points?
Right?
He's got 3 goals and 6 assists. That's supposedly a slow start.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it a slow start? 'Cause
It's not.
People keep saying that, but it's not.
He's
been
what is
fine.
expected of him. I don't
It's the contract.
I don't really feel bad for him. This is
No!
When you ask for that amount of money, you ask for this.
Yeah.
And what is expected of him is to be a top 10 scorer in the league. That's it. That's literally it. And also, are you new here? His power play scoring is going to slow down. His 5-on-5 scoring is going to pick up, and it'll still be right around the same pace. That's what's going to happen.
Morgan Riley already has 9 assists. He's second in team scoring, only because he doesn't have a goal.
Second in team scoring and tied for first in the league in assists.
And Matthews is, I think, a goal behind James Neal. He's got 7 goals in 7 games.
Oh my god!
And he's
Read
on-
out his shooting percentage.
his shooting percentage.
Who, James Neal or Matthews?
Austin Matthews.
It's actually lower than I would have thought,
Okay.
but still pretty high. 21.9%.
That is lower than I thought.
When
That's still very high.
Right.
He's had the most shots in the team with 32.
He shoots the lights out.
He does.
He takes a lot of shots.
He does. But, when you consider that, Crosby's usually, a 15 or 16?
The best shooting percentages in the league are I guess between 15 and 18 roughly.
And you would expect Matthews to be at that. So if he only goes down like 3 percentage points, it's not bad.
It's ridiculous.
Cools off. What a freaking monster.
Nobody's taking 32 shots and it's still up at 21.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
It's
good.
crazy.
It's crazy.
So good.
Yeah. And his face-off percentage is interesting. I'm just looking at it right now, 60%.
Which is a phony stat. That
Yeah,
Elliot
we were
Friedman's
talking about
been
it is a phony
talking
stat.
about. Yeah.
It's baloney.
We were talking about that at the game.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it was a Spezza face-off, and I'm like, okay, who won that?
So how did you
in the I think it was the first 31 thoughts of the season, Elliot had as one of his points that the NHL and most teams count face-off wins differently.
Yeah.
The NHL has very specific rules on if a puck is won to your team's side, but the other team's player collects it, it goes towards the other team, but it has to be cleanly enough to say that they have possession. So it could still be on your side. The other team wins it in a scrum, but since it was on your side,
So you can win a face-off for being
get
fast.
Yeah, essentially.
So,
Because I guess it's about who gets possession.
But also about the direction that the puck went. So there's so many little things that most teams have their own internal face-off stats. So they'll
all
be
teams have their own internal stats.
Yeah, all
because
teams
the
have,
public stats are trash.
Right.
Damn,
so,
that's why I'm extra skater, man.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a little.
May they rest in peace.
So yeah, when you
I'll
look
look
at
it up while
face-off
you're talking
stats,
about
you
that.
gotta
See,
take it
here's
with a grain of salt.
What I would want to track, I think, is possession after the face-off.
Mm-hmm.
I want the possession after I don't care who won the actual battle. I think we're focusing on something that doesn't matter. What matters is you get possession. So,
and if you're a team, you probably think the exact same way, and that's what you track.
I
right?
wonder if that's what they do.
Yeah.
Because I would want and then if there's like a battle along the boards right away, I would count that as a nil, like nothing.
I'd be curious
That's
to know.
that's not a win or a loss. It's just
But
there.
the NHL is like, no, every time there's a face-off, somebody's a winner and somebody's a loser, so we got to rate it somehow.
Yeah.
And what center? Is there a center in the league that is super shafted or super helped out by their wingers? What if the center is a good face-off guy, but their wingers are useless at retrieving the puck?
Right.
Maybe the best face-off guy in the league is a defenseman.
Well,
Because he just gobbles it up.
think about that for a team like Minnesota, who we have to talk about. Minnesota is one of the slowest teams in the league. So if they can't get to their own puck, let's say Kevin Fiala magically dresses against them, and he's quite fast.
That was a weird scratch.
That was a weird scratch.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wonder if there's something going on there. Kevin Fiala is one of the faster guys on that team, is he not?
He's one of the he's not bad, man.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Just never really put it together. Let's say Kasperi Kapanen is on the Leafs, and Alexander Kerfoot loses the initial faceoff, but Kapanen is able to intercept it as it goes back to the defense.
Yeah.
So their team save percentage and that player save percentage is going to be further down just based on the fact that they are slow.
Well, what was that? There was a goal. There was a goal a few years ago. I want to say Connor Brown got it, and it was off of a face-off they lost on purpose. If you lose a face-off on purpose and it leads to a goal for you, you won the face-off.
You won the goal. You didn't win the faceoff.
But
No.
the puck went where you wanted it to go.
Isn't
that what a faceoff is?
Still a lost faceoff. I think it's possession. It should come down to possession,
I guess.
which is hard to match in hockey.
I don't know.
I know.
It's tough. Can I read you an article that is very short because it's one paragraph?
Please.
Which is why I don't feel bad about reading the whole thing. This is from Greg Wyshynski of ESPN.
Boo.
Boo. On the note of in-house analytics versus public analytics, from ESPN. The NHL tells ESPN that it's investigating an apparent change in the way shot distance is being measured in its game summaries. This week, the hockey analytics community noted a dramatic shift in shot distance, including video evidence that shots in the crease were being measured as having been several feet away. This could corrupt advanced stats like expected goals and goalie analytics like high danger saves. After observing the videos, the NHL is looking at potential catalysts. So basically, variances in the NHL's tracked data could ruin just a bunch of public stats.
Wow. So we could be looking at stuff that's just
Garbage. Well, and there was another one. I want to say Corey Snezger, whose last name I can never pronounce, pointed out
at what on Twitter?
I think that's what it is.
At Corey
That's
Snezger?
one of those names that has an S followed by a Z.
Polish. It's usually Polish.
There's an upside down letter in there.
Yeah,
Or
weird. One of those weird accent. Hungarian. They all have like those, like in that. They're all from that area. Those vowels don't go together.
No. Those consonants.
So consonants. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, probably vowels too. I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, the time on ice. He was showing like the time on. You know how the game sheet will show you each shift when it began and ended for every player. He posted one. He's like, "There's the guy on the bench."
No way.
Or it was like, no, the guy was. It said his shift had just started, and he's like streaking down the wing on the other side of the ice.
Ooh.
So he couldn't have possibly just jumped on the ice. Yeah, a lot of if you're using public data, you need to take everything with a grain of salt because the NHL's public data is garbage.
And they don't seem. I don't know what's in it for them to really improve the public data. Like, what's in it? Can they make any money off the public data? No.
Well, yeah, and you got to spend money to make it.
And
any
it seems
good.
like it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Even to get it wrong.
Cody Ceci might rule. Like, we don't know.
We don't know. We should ask Berkshire.
Can I just read the piece from Elliot?
It's one stat tracker who just hates him. I just hate Cody Ceci. He cheered against the 67s in junior. He just hated him.
I found the quote here just to wrap the conversation. He said, according to the league's guidebook, a face-off win occurs when the actions of the center result in his team gaining possession of the puck following puck drop, or when the face-off center clearly causes the puck with or without retaining possession to travel in an intended direction.
So what if the center falls down at the face-off circle and his winger goes whoops and just swoops in and collects it? The center had nothing to do with it.
Then it's a win. But
he didn't touch the puck.
But he could also intend the puck to go forward, and if he makes it go forward, then it's also a win. But his team might not get it. So there you go.
Yeah, because he made the puck go where he wanted it to go.
Yes.
Face-offs are
so yeah, that's the NHL.
Yeah. No, that's garbage. Michael Hutchison has the toughest job in the league. Tracking face-off stats for Mike Babcock.
That's his job?
Oh my God. He's got to do it? Why do they give that clip? Why did they bother giving that clip?
Is that really?
He's not doing that.
He's not doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've never seen that? He's sitting there with the baseball cap, and he's got his little clipboard, and he's like, fuck my life. Why am I doing this?
I don't know why they bother with that anymore, because they have someone for that. They've got like 40 people in that
and 800
department.
cameras.
Yeah.
Also, like, those are your
that.
teammates. Those are your teammates. Yeah, my best friend Austin Matthews won every one of his face-offs.
He is great. Gold star.
Yeah.
Pulls out a different marker.
Yeah. Tavares is the captain, so yeah, I'm going to give him a smiley face.
Boy, that Freddie Andersen is looking pretty weak.
He has stickers.
Yeah. Kerfoot, I don't really know you yet.
Yeah.
So you're just at a 50.
Actually, Kerfoot's apparently, according to the NHL.com, Kerfoot's under 50% in
Don't believe
face-off.
it. It's a lie.
46. Nylander's 43. But
Nope.
look at this. Gauthier at 60% and Nicholas Short 60% or 59.
Nicholas Shore. Yeah, 60's extremely high, 43's really low. They'll probably one will come down, one will come up.
So let me ask you this. Really important question. Minnesota fans, let me ask you this.
Ooh.
Look into the camera.
Is Ryan Hartman a big baby?
Wow.
That's what you wanted to ask.
Is Ryan Hartman a big baby?
Nodding into the camera. I think
Hold
he's
on.
upset.
Let me read the quote.
I think he's mad on and offline.
If a Leaf said this, would you say, that Leaf guy sure is a big baby?
Oh, if a Leaf said that, all of Western Canada and Quebec would take the day off work and be like, all right, let's get online. Let's get to work. You bunch of... Oh, my God.
Grant McKegg would have a friggin' field day.
Oh, my... Jonathan Drouin would never say that. Noted better player than almost everyone except for Austin Matthews would never say that.
So
But Minnesota.
at Russo Hockey, Michael Russo is one of the best reporters in the business.
Oh, yeah.
He is so phenomenal.
had a real good year.
Just unbelievable. Anyway, he said
Maybe the best single article of 2019 so far.
the Paul Fenton article.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Our whole show was based on that.
Good shit.
So
real good shit.
At Russo Hockey, you should follow him even if you don't follow the Wylde, just because the guy is so good. Anyway, he's like, Hartman accused Muzzin of diving. So you were talking about the play where, if you've never seen it, Hartman is going up the ice. He gets hit, loses his stick.
He was hurt too, so he was.
He says he was hurt.
You seem.
And he did wait.
He seemed mad.
He did wait on the ice a while to see if the whistle would blow. Did you notice that? There was a little bit of a pause.
Oh, you think? Oh, did he? Are you accusing Ryan Hartman of diving?
I'm not accusing him of diving. I'm accusing him of being a good salesman. And good for him. Everybody is now. That's how the league works. If that's an insult, Nazem Kadri, we put Nazem Kadri on the pedestal for being able to do that. I don't think that's an insult.
It was his Halloween costume.
Thank you. Painting it. So Hartman is then mad and goes up the ice when Jake Muzzin turns around, grabs his shoulder a little bit, and Jake Muzzin, who is a tree,
with a beard, he's a bearded tree,
flips around unlike a tree and falls.
Yes.
And
Hartman, got touch.
And Hartman doesn't have a stick, and then he gets a stick at the bench and realizes he's been called, and he does the this is my no good, very bad day. And so after the game, and by the way, the Leafs scored almost like 5 seconds after that penalty was called. It was like bang, goal.
Negated breakaway too.
Yeah. So he said Hartman accused Muzzin of diving. Quote, it was embarrassing on his part. He knows what happened. And if you saw after the goal, they actually went to Hartman, and I think they always try to get the camera away when you can lip read, because he said, you fucking dove. I didn't fucking touch you. Yeah. And Boudreau didn't let Hartman off the hook for grabbing Muzzin. He said there was no need for it. We had a breakaway completely all the way in. So
that's a coach who's getting fired, by the way.
I see. Let's get to that in a second.
But yeah.
Let's get to that in a second. It could have been a 2-2 game, maybe. If Donato scores there, you don't know. You just don't know. But in all honesty, I was joking about the baby thing. Ryan Hartman has.
He takes too many penalties in general.
He does. So yeah, you were talking about that in your video. This guy seems like a guy
takes like 30 minors a year.
Like, even after the game, Ryan. Yeah. That's the wrong move.
He was hot.
It's the wrong move.
That team doesn't sound very happy. I don't expect they should be. Bruce Boudreau looks friggin' miserable. He won't stick up for Hartman. Hartman, who's playing on like his 4th or 5th team after being a first round, the type of guy to get drafted in the first round, and if you want him in a trade, you got to pay a first rounder to get him. And then he was like a waiver claim, or something like that. He's not awesome. I don't know if he's even going to play every night.
He was supposed to be a power forward too. So here's
Bill Guerin is ready to just light a stick of dynamite under that team.
Well, I think he needs to.
Yeah.
Bruce Boudreau said this after the game, and I thought this was, beyond the Hartman quote, this was to me the most telling thing. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that he wished he had some sort of magic potion to make the team faster.
That's very funny.
Is that potion scratch Kevin Fiala?
Well, but you're right. Kevin Fiala, if you do want a faster team, Fiala's got to play.
I feel bad. There's a couple guys in that team who are very Fenton guys, and he's maybe the poster boy of them.
Boudreau?
No, Fiala.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough to be those guys.
Yeah. It's got to be tough to be Fenton's kid, who is the head of scouting.
Is he still
the head of scouting?
Oh, God.
And I don't know whether he's good or not. I don't know. He could be great, but it's still got to be tough. Now,
is that a situation you even want to be
with
in?
a guy like Ryan Hartman, with a team like this where they're at? You just mentioned Bruce Boudreau being potentially on the hot seat, and there's another coach on the hot seat that I want to talk about a little bit later. But Bruce Boudreau for now. I find his quotes always very refreshing and very honest. But I think especially
in
now.
Toronto.
Yeah.
He's literally still an open Leaf fan.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He's coach of the Minnesota Wild.
But I think he looks at it and is going, you know what? I'm just going to say what I think at this point because I could lose my job. I'm a pretty good coach, and I want any prospective team that wants to hire me to say, well, at least he knew what was wrong. Because that's the thing. You don't get hired in the NHL if they think you're out of touch.
He's speaking his mind and not sticking up for his guys. He coaches a shitty team, and
Poorly
the GM in charge is not the GM who hired him. He's gone. He'll go somewhere else and have success.
Yep.
But he's gone.
Yep.
It's done.
He's one of the best regular season coaches there is.
Seriously.
Truly is.
Seriously.
You know, Caps, Ducks, like truly great.
And he has postseason success until the 7th game. And
Of
if
the
he ever
second round.
wins the Stanley Cup, it'll be in 6. It'll have to be.
You might be able to say the same about Babs.
Imagine that. Oh.
Listen,
How many games, 7
let's
wins?
just call a spade a spade.
How many games, 7 wins did Babs have in Detroit?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Justin Abdicator.
Good question. I don't know.
Justin Abdicator wouldn't answer questions about Babcock.
There was a quote today from Gustav Nyquist. He's being used on the penalty kill in Columbus.
He's Gustav Nyquist.
Yeah.
He plays for who?
Columbus. I forgot.
They still have a
Wow.
hockey team, if you weren't aware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I totally
Gus
forgot.
Nyquist is a Columbus Blue Jacket
He
now.
was like their big get this summer. They had a tough summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
but,
struck out on a few.
But they got a guy.
And lost everybody.
Yo, full marks to them for going for it, though. I still appreciate the hell out of that.
yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
And I guess he's being used on the penalty kill, and he's been decent so far. And supposedly Tortorella went, "How come you weren't used on the penalty kill elsewhere?" And he said, "Stupid coaches."
It's a good line.
And I'm like,
Torts probably love that.
Torts probably love that. I don't know about Blashill or Babcock.
Well, from what I understood, Blashill is supposedly he was like Babcock Jr., right? Like they when he took over, they thought, oh, he's very similar. So I don't know. I don't know if that actually ended up being true. I haven't paid enough attention to Detroit. I'm sure
No, they're
our
not
Wing Wheel
winning.
podcast friends could tell us.
Yes.
By the way, if you're a Detroit fan, check them out. They're amazing. So if you're Minnesota, tell me
Quit.
how.
Oh, sorry.
Tell me how. Remember, they're so good that they didn't even bother
shit,
making the
they're
playoffs.
about to go on a heater. Damn it!
No.
I jinxed them.
If Bruce Boudreau gets fired, tell me how this gets better.
It doesn't.
Oh, but that's like every coach firing ever.
Except for Pittsburgh a couple years ago.
Sorry, that's like every good coach getting fired ever. Like Joel Quenneville.
Yeah, that was dumb.
They weren't like, oh yeah, this will solve everything. It was just time. You know what I mean?
Does it sometimes just wear thin and that's it, and you've expired?
Sometimes it's just time. Sometimes it's just time. And other times, like, it's a bit of a mercy firing. Like Bruce Boudreau, like, him coaching the Minnesota Wild's a waste of time. That's a good coach. He belongs with a playoff team. He belongs in the, I'll say, the Stanley Cup conversation for a guy who's never won a Game 7. I don't care. He's a great coach. He knows how to coach teams to President's Trophies. Mm-hmm. That's something. What, you wouldn't trade places with a President's Trophy team right now in Minnesota?
100%.
You know what I mean?
Now, that's
it's
not,
a waste of time for a coach as good as Bruce Boudreau to be on a team that shitty.
and it is not his fault that this team is so poorly constructed.
And they got a goalie, too. Like,
They do.
man, a lot of shitty teams, like, they can't stop a beach ball. Like, Dubnyk
That's not
is
their
just...
and a great defense core.
Yeah, and you saw how good John Gibson was last year for his team to not make the playoffs. If Dubnyk is 85% of that, which is a lot of percent of that, they're going to get crushed. They're going to get crushed.
What's interesting too is that there is a lot of speed available in like fringe positions, where the Wild seem to get hurt the most is slow. I mean, they've got slow centermen, but slow wings, and especially when it comes to their depth. But it's not like you can't find speedy depth out there. I mean, look what the Leafs have with lines 5 and 6.
But they just don't have room on their roster. Like they have so many guys in their mid-20s and early 30s locked up for multiple
long
years
time.
that they can't just take on waivers guys because there's nowhere to play.
They were able to get Matt Zuccarello because they pulled a Brinks truck up to his house.
Right.
But other
But
than him,
I didn't
like,
understand that. Why did they I didn't understand when that signing happened. I don't know if we talked about it much at the time.
I understood it from his perspective. He
Sure.
wanted a
yeah.
big old bunch of money.
Right.
But I don't know why you sign there if you want to win.
For them,
I think you want a big old bunch of money.
yeah,
It's a
for
nice
them
place
it
to
made
live.
no sense.
Yeah.
To lock up 32-year-old for 5 years at $6 million.
Who signed that? Was it Guerin or was that a Fenton?
That was a Fenton deal.
That was fun.
Remember
Oh
the-
my
the lizard
God!
quote?
Why did they let him? Oh,
And then the one thing that kept making the rounds yesterday was the average age of the team, which is 29th in the league. Their average age is 29.6.
oh,
which
you don't
is-
want to be old and
Well,
shit.
and let me-
Yeah, so they're old and bad, and they have so many contracts for multiple years.
Like
that run half a decade.
Parise's contract expires the same year as Tavares.
Oh, that is. Oh my God! What? That's disgusting. What you just said.
24,
Stop that.
25.
Can we delete that? What?
Yeah.
When does Spurgeon kick in? Next year, right?
Next year.
And it's for till what? 6 years?
Yes.
It
It goes to the end of cap friendly.
He's gonna be there till he's like 36.
And he's 29 already.
He's 29.
So,
Suter's deal expires when Parise
and,
does.
and love Matt Zuccarello. Love Matt Zuccarello. I think he's a great player. But at 32, you sign him to a 5-year contract.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, they could trade him. I'm sure there were other teams who wanted him.
Yeah, he probably just wanted the 5th year. It was like how the Leafs got Marlowe. But you get burned on that 5th year. It's that extra year that's the problem. Jason Zucker, man, they're lucky they didn't trade him because they probably would have blown that one. But he's a good player.
One contract coming off the books this offseason.
And it's Mikko Koivu.
Like they've been set up to not succeed.
Victor Rask, this year, next year, and the year after, is making $4 million a year.
There's not room to play with. You just got to sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're about to go hamster Huey and the Gooey Kablooey.
What is that?
It is. I think it's a fictional book from the Calvin and Hobbes series.
Okay.
They're about to go hamster Huey and the Gooey Kablooey.
Suter's contract sucks too.
Yeah.
But full marks to Suter. He did look good last night.
Did he?
Well, he broke up that 3-on-1.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was cool.
I just kept watching Leafs go.
Yeah. Anyway, very, very interesting stuff. There's it's a fascinating situation there. The other guy, and I think we should bring this up now, is John Hines. And I know we kind of touched on it last episode.
Interesting.
But John Hines, New Jersey's weird, right? There's a lot of roster turnover, goaltending suspect.
Assistant coach turnover, I believe.
Yeah.
Their goaltending's poo. And then they replace. They have an assistant GM fill in as an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Because Tom Fitzgerald,
former Leaf.
If you didn't know this, Tom Fitzgerald is now, as the assistant GM, joining John Hines on the staff now.
Which is super interesting.
He wants to see who's going to actually be playing.
Does that mean? Do you think that means that they're looking at John or the players?
The players, 100%.
You think so?
Yeah. I want to up close look at who's actually playing for this team because they're not playing up to their ability. I'm going to go down there and see what's happening.
He's the assistant GM. He was probably consulted and gave his opinion as to, we should get this guy. We should get that guy. He's got to find out why it's not working.
100%.
Ooh.
You're already there.
Yeah. Well, better to nip it now.
100%.
If you're going to make mistakes in life, make them quickly.
It's a small sample size is the difference between a small sample size and not a small sample size is a small sample size.
Yeah.
You start your season with 4 bad games. That's a small sample size. 6, oh, holy shit. It's the difference of 2 games, but like if you come out of your first 6 with 1 win, you're in shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many teams recover from that, really?
You don't.
There's this
St.
example
Louis
and that
did.
example. But, well, even them, like, I don't know if they only had 1 win in 6.
No, I don't think so.
They were just consistently kind of shitty.
But they've proven that you can be the worst team in the NHL in January and win a Stanley Cup.
They were weird.
If you can find a Jordan Bennington.
Right. If you can find a goalie.
Find the best goalie in the world.
Exactly.
I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
You guys remember our conversation about Cody Ceci? Because you talk about the Leafs getting squirrely, right? Last episode we were talking about defense. We were talking about, Ian Tulloch's been all over the Riley Ceci pairing about gap control.
Yeah, they're booty.
And we're talking about what'll happen when Travis Dermott comes back. I don't know if that was last episode or the episode before. It doesn't really matter. The point is, we were talking about why is Cody Ceci a Leaf? We're going back to this. And is there something up, to go to Steve's conspiracy theory? Now, the Leafs cap situation with Cody Ceci is interesting because I thought that they couldn't get away from Cody Ceci this past summer, and it turns out I was right. Okay?
Oh,
so
okay.
the pension plan puppets put this out there.
It's a lot of peas.
But essentially, the idea is because Ottawa had already qualified Cody Ceci, the Leafs couldn't walk away from that. When you already qualify a player and then trade him, you can't get away from it. And the thinking was, if they went to arbitration, he makes over $5 million rather than 4.5.
Oh my god.
So they had to sign him to that so that he wouldn't make more in arbitration.
Ugh.
So that's the basic thing. And so a lot of our listeners have a really great understanding of the cap, and I'm so fucking thankful for it because they'll always slide into my DM and be like, "Hey, I don't want to be that guy." I'm like, "Please be that guy."
If we were listeners of our own show, we'd be bottom half in terms of
intelligence?
smart.
Sure. Yeah. So this comes from Chewy. He's a long time listener, always comes out to the events. What's up,
know
Chewy?
Chewy.
The last thing, he said, basically we were talking about Leafs, if they traded Cody Ceci, I said, because they're an LTIR, probably wouldn't get any cap relief. And that's not true. He said the thing about LTIR is that it basically makes the Leafs salary cap fixed. From now until the end of the season, or until they trade Clarkson or Horton, the Leafs salary cap will be just under the $81.5 million limit. That can change. What could change, though, is how much of that salary cap they've used in LTIR. And this LTIR pool is $10.5 million. Then the Leafs have just paid David Clarkson $2 million not to play hockey. And now looping back to Ceci, while trading him won't affect the limit, what it does free is a sliver of money owed to him. If the Leafs do nothing with that sliver, then Clarkson will cost the Leafs $4 million owed to Ceci for the remainder of the year. However, that $4 million can be used for whatever player the Leafs want to get. Like, say, I don't know, a better defender who's currently left-handed and playing Carolina. Jake Gardner.
But the only thing is, if Ceci went to arbitration with the Leafs and he's awarded more than $4.3 million, then the Leafs have the option to walk away from the contract.
In this case, I think they didn't. Now, the Pension Plan Puppets article I'm looking at,
That's the problem.
there is.
I think if that was the option, they would have.
Yeah.
No,
Or
because
an
they
option.
didn't go to the arbitration.
Right.
So it never got to that option.
But you know how there's like different categories of free agent? I think some guys you can walk away and some guys you can't.
Yeah, and this one they couldn't walk
it's,
away.
It's any.
That's what happened.
I'd like to see what they're saying against that, because that's just a rule.
It's still funny that we're having this conversation. We're literally
Right.
having the conversation, why is he a Leaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that is literally like almost what the Pension Plan Puppet said. Arvin at ARVI on Twitter wrote this. He said, "Will the Leafs keep Cody Ceci?" It's literally the article, and it's from June 30th.
I don't see how he can play in the Leafs top four and they can contend for anything.
Well, I just don't think that he does.
That's yeah. Dude, it's I've never seen a fan base so convinced that one of their own players, oh, don't worry, he's going to get shoved down the lineup.
Yeah.
Like Babcock doesn't like that player.
Yep.
There's no way.
Yep. Listen, I don't know if this article fully explains that particular thing, but there was other. The Leafs could. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Like, even, like some of you are going to laugh, like, oh, well, Babcock loved Roman Polak. Like, Ceci doesn't do the things Roman Polak did that Babcock liked.
Yeah. Cody Ceci's not a heavy player.
No. He is, like, literally in terms of pounds. But he's so slow in the uptake in his own end.
Yeah.
Listen, we've already seen a few offensive plays where I was like, oh, hey, Zaitsev never did that. He's so bad in his own end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he seems the worst thing is defensively anyway. Obviously, he's doing A-okay offensively, but defensively, Riley appears to be worse.
Right.
To me. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm just saying what I've seen. I'm like, Jesus, Morgan. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Now, I want to mention something.
What that?
We have a live show coming up.
Hey!
Live show at Regulars in downtown Toronto. It's going to be the 7th of November. That's a Thursday. And I believe that's against Vegas.
Certainly is.
So a real team. A real
Yes.
test. This will be good. So if you want to come to that, just show up.
That's it?
We're going to start our show at 5:45.
Is it tickets?
No, just show up.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
5:45. It's free to attend, whatever.
You might want to get there early.
Yeah, sure. But we're going to go on the air, quote unquote, at 5:45. It'll be a special bonus episode, so don't worry. We'll continue to do our normal schedule.
Oh, great.
We'll just have an extra show that week. And this one will be just an hour long. A lot of questions. So come armed with whatever you've ever wanted to ask Steve your entire life. Or if you're a Pens fan, please keep your pitchforks outside of the bar. They don't allow pitchforks in the bar.
Did you ask them that?
I made sure. Yeah,
Okay.
they have bouncers and stuff, right? But anyway, Regulars is a really cool bar in downtown Toronto. And we were quite surprised when they reached out because I
Right.
believe there's a Regulars outside of Toronto. And I was like, oh, it'll probably be that one. And they're like, no, it's like the downtown one. I was like, oh,
All right,
cool. Like, it's a really, like, look it up. It's very cool. So come join us November the 7th at Regulars. We will be there. And the game will be obviously later on as well. Now, we need to talk about Washington tonight because we can't really get into too much about how the game went, obviously, because it's still tonight.
We have not seen it.
But
It has not.
this is sort of a story of two teams that have really sort of like underperformed at this point. I don't think Washington expected to start the season 3-2-2. Just like the Leafs were at 3-2-2 until last night.
It shows the expectation of both teams.
Sure.
We're looking at Washington and the Leafs and saying they've underperformed.
Yes.
Washington is bang average.
They're fine.
Stanley Cup contention is what's expected of them.
Now, what do you think about, and this will be fun to go back and listen to after. I love doing this stuff. People are like, well, the podcast's out of date because the Leafs didn't play. Yeah, well, it's also fun to go back and listen to what we predicted will happen. And
Sure.
then, because it's hockey, who cares? And it's impossible to bet on. Except we had one person, by the way, reach out and say, but actually, hockey's great to bet on. And
I saw
like,
that. That was
wrong.
very interesting because he made a great point. And that
What'd he say?
Since there's not a lot of hockey betting because it's so weird to bet on, that a lot of the lines you can, if you're astute enough at betting, you can get a lot of wonky lines because Vegas isn't paying it as much attention.
Oh.
So you can find more advantages but with football, everybody is betting on football, so
Right.
the lines are so exact.
I always got to...
I don't know how any of that works. Can I just say I've never bet on a game ever. I don't know what a line is. I remember being on the Fan and we were talking about betting and I was like, I've been on the betting show on the Fan. Like they have a Saturday morning, yeah, for Oscars 2 years in a row.
Oh, right. That's
and
cool.
and they had me on for, and I was like, well, the line is whatever this website
Leonardo
says.
DiCaprio is Leo's minus 450 to win the Best Actor award. Yeah.
Exactly, and I would explain the reasons why. That was what I could bring. They could tell you the line. It was about why is Revenant going to win? Why is whatever. So yeah, I don't know how any of that shit works. You're gonna have to teach me at some point.
One day.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go to Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah, we should do a trip down to Vegas, watch a game.
Should.
Bet on a couple ponies.
Do we have any Vegas listeners? Because we're
Yeah, we must.
Do we?
Must.
Like people who are in Vegas. I wonder if they listened to the show before Vegas was announced, or if they found us after.
No, there were no hockey fans before the Golden Knights.
I wonder if they found us after. I'm not talking about if there were hockey fans.
There were none. They were born of the Golden Knights, Jesse.
And their Twitter account guy who ended up getting fired.
Oh, right. And was a listener, I think.
Was he?
I don't know.
Oh, shout out him.
Yeah. It was great. Sorry.
Washington?
Washington tonight. We're seeing a not fresh Leafs team take on a fresh Washington team.
Fun and a pissed off fresh Washington team.
Why are they pissed off, Steve?
Well, they haven't been good. You won't like Ovechkin when he's angry.
Do you think Michael Hutchinson woke up this morning a little anxious about Ovechkin's slap shot?
Oh, my God.
Do you not? Like, you must. Like, we don't really think about it on like a human level. But if you're a goalie and you're going up against Alexander Ovechkin's shot on a power play, that's gotta be something you think about all day.
Oh, my God. Oh, or if you're a defenseman on that side of the ice. Ooh. No wonder he's always open. You want to block that shot?
No. Oh, you're not going to block it.
And
You'll
you know
die.
it's coming up high, too. That's something Merrick pays a lot of attention to is guys who shoot high.
And he does, and he actually makes it work, though. Ovechkin makes it work.
Yeah. But if you block it, it's going to friggin' hit you in the neck.
That's why he shoots it high.
Or the teeth. That's going to be fun. I remember McElhinney's miracle season where he was just stoning everyone on the second half of a back-to-back. Ridiculous. But there was that one game where they showed, before the game, Hockey Night in Canada, they got Ovechkin, and he's got a young Caps fan in the crowd in Toronto. And I was just like, this is going to suck. Bang, bang, bang. Lights him up for a Hattie. What are your stats? What building is this? What city is this? That's nice. Ovi best hockey. And he just slams the thing into the net 3 times. Leafs lose. He doesn't give a shit. He lives for nights like this. Dude, that guy's chasing Gretzky's record. You don't think he knows he's playing a backup tonight?
Does he do it?
I think he does.
What, get a hat trick?
He'd have to, if he, no.
No, break Gretzky's goal scoring record.
He'd need, I think it's 236 to start the season is where he's behind.
236.
Yeah.
And
then I
he
don't
scored
know how many goals he has.
51 last year?
Yeah, something like that.
He's got to score more. He's got to score at a higher pace before
Or just
time
play,
catches up with him.
or just play a couple more years.
Yeah.
You know, if he can fit in like 6 years, then he could probably do it. But who knows?
Of like, well, and he's going to decline, but if the decline is slow enough, and like, is he going to be that guy who plays for all that time? Like Yager is still playing. Still.
By the way, there was a picture of him. I think Pete Blackburn had it up, and he's got like abs and everything.
He's yoked.
Screw you, dude.
But he's got like old Viking muscles.
Yes.
Where like it's like he's got 90s wrestler bod. Where like you see he's kind of chubby, but his fat has abs.
Yeah.
And he's got the Razor Ramon chest hair.
If Ovechkin had 5 years, so including this year, where he scored 47.2 goals, he breaks the record.
Ooh.
That's a lot of years.
That's why he's got to score 60 a year so he can cut that down. He's got to score 60. I think he's got to start hitting 60s again.
And he goes, yeah, okay, I can do that. And
just start not tonight.
Yeah.
Please.
Please give me your backups.
So if I give you $1 million and you have to place the bet on yes or no, will Ovechkin break Wayne Gretzky's record? Which one are you putting on? Yes or no?
I steal your millions of dollars and move to Alaska.
I say yes because I think it matters to him. He's won his cup. I think it matters a whole heck of a lot to Alexander Ovechkin. That's the last thing. Maybe a gold medal too.
All-time NHL goal scorer. All-time
and he
goal
has
leader.
been doubted and like remember he had a slow start once and he's like, well, I guess I'm done. Like it was like, it was one of those things where like the
2013
people have doubted him. They've told he needs to be a student of the game. Like that, just all these things. I would love to see this man retire as one of the best. And by the way, he will retire as one of the best. Sorry. Yeah. But as like you beat Gretzky out. That's huge.
Minus 2 years that were taken away from his career because of lockouts.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean Gretzky too. Well, Gretzky had the
one
season.
Yeah.
The half season,
yeah. The Senators.
Sorry, I just wanted to I can't find it. Never mind. I wanted to look at let's move on. I wanted to look at Ovechkin's ridiculous back half from the lockout shortened season.
Before we move on to the Senators, I want to let you know something.
What's that?
Ooh. We're working with Leo Vegas again.
Hey!
More things. And the best part about it is if you want to play hockey with Matt Sundin, you go to leovegas.net and you click on Sundin's back. It used to be his face. It's now his jersey. You can see him. It's behind Matt Sundin. So if you want to play with Matt Sundin in Toronto, this is your chance. You can sign up, and the package includes at leovegas.net participation in 2 hockey games with Matt Sundin and other alumni at the Ford Performance Center in Toronto. By the way, we're gonna get a list of the alumni very soon. We just don't have it yet. Attendance at a welcome reception at the Delta Hotel, a commemorative signed photo, an invitation to a private dinner event at Real Sports in downtown Toronto. Which, by the way, that event is where you get the NHL guys to spill.
Yes.
The first time we did this.
And I couldn't go.
The guys that were at that night, we none of us could go. We couldn't go to the draft party.
I thought you guys did.
Came back and they said, I think it was Curtis Joseph had told them that he's like, no question, John Tavares signs in Toronto. That was 2 years ago. Like no question. And it was. And what did he say? Well, he said that you could. Evidently, what he said was you could make $500,000 a year just signing autographs the rest of your life in Toronto. So he's coming to Toronto.
You know who's an alumni?
And that was in April.
You know who's an alumni that we've seen more than once at Leaf games, like as the I'm going to give out a jersey guy? Christian Hansen.
That was weird.
That guy, he was a Leaf for 45 minutes.
That was weird. That was really weird. So again, attendance at a welcome reception at the Delta Hotel. You'll get a commemorative signed photo, invitation to the private event at Real Sports where you get to hang out with them. Lunch with Matt and the other alumni, which we have been to, which is fun.
Yes.
Overnight hotel accommodation at the Delta Toronto Hotel, November 15th and 16th. Transportation costs for the event, and $300 for travel funds. Now, if you are not a hockey player, you can trade spots with your guests. You got to be 19 plus, and they can play while you take it all in. The contest runs until November 3rd, 2019. So make sure you're 19, open to residents of Ontario only. Terms and conditions apply. leovegas.net to check it out. Good luck. Have fun. Matt Sundin twice in 1 year. How cool is that?
Very cool. And if you're one of those people who's like, no, I don't want to go out there, I'm going to stink, just do it. Trust me.
You
it's
stink.
worth it. I stink.
And?
it was great. Oh, you can be just like Steve Dangle and disappoint Sundin live and in person.
Are you playing again?
I'm not sure because that's the day after the Easter Seals tournament.
So he may
where
be
I'm going to
ragged.
play 4 games.
So?
He should do it. I think
Yeah.
he should do it.
I'm going to try.
See, I didn't
My
wanna
back
say-
might be like, how about you're bedridden?
Who cares?
But we'll see.
Right?
Get some-
back
just-
schmack.
Back, smack.
Take an extra nap.
Sundin played with Owen Nolan. He knows how to play with a guy with a bad back.
Hey, Leafs are playing a back-to-back. Why can't you?
Back. Are they? Oh,
Tonight.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Ottawa's in a rough way, guys.
Are they?
This is going from bad to worse. The official attendance,
Oh.
according to an article on sportsnet.ca from Wayne Scanlon,
No one ever talks about attendance unless it's like dire.
unless it's bad.
Yeah, so
No
this
one's
is
ever sold out again.
right.
So let me ask you this: who led the NHL in attendance last year?
Montreal.
Okay,
Because they
Jesse.
always
That's a good guess. Yeah. It wouldn't be Tampa. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Now you have to remember that it's based on if you're a really good team and stadium size, right?
Yeah.
So the Leafs only sell
Ooh.
can I think only go up to 18.5 or 19.
Yeah.
I think it's 19. Well, and their capacity, they always sell like 103%, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
I think that's
how
like
many seats are
the
there?
restaurant or whatever.
Can,
But
I
yeah.
change, can I change my answer?
Sure.
Boston Bruins. I
Good-
think TD
good guess,
Garden's
too.
a big.
That's a bad situation, and we'll maybe get to that later.
What?
Yep.
I don't know about that.
It's not good, but
Okay.
we'll talk about Ottawa
All right, we'll
first.
go to Boston
ahead.
next then.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about it.
What's the answer?
It's actually a funny story.
The answer: Chicago Blackhawks,
Because
20
the United Center holds 22.
22.7.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of
Yeah.
people. You make a lot of money that way. Now, nobody knows who the top attendance getter in the NHL. For some reason, in baseball, it really matters. They talk about that a lot in baseball.
Yeah.
In hockey, they
When
just don't talk
baseball is even a big deal, the overall number, they'll be like, oh, we hit 2 million fans this season.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's
Yeah.
baseball matters.
When Toronto was really good, they regularly led the league in attendance, and
Yeah.
they got right back up there, 3-4 seasons ago. And they hit what? They were used to hit 4 million fans a season, and then they were hitting 3.5 for a while there, which was really good.
yeah.
You can't take the roof off.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It fits what it fits.
So the attendance for the St. Louis game, defending Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough one. Defending state.
Let me just give you the number.
Sure. Yeah, just give them
the Ben Bishop off. The teams that lost Ben Bishop off.
The official attendance for the St. Louis game was 9,204.
That bad.
which
That is
means
the-
like 5,000 showed up.
That is, yeah. That's just what was sold.
Yeah.
That's not who showed up.
Yeah.
And that's a key thing.
Yeah.
That's a really important thing because a lot of people are season ticket holders. Either they don't go, they can't sell it, they can't make it that night. It's somebody's sick or somebody's birthday. The defending Stanley Cup champions. And you could say, oh, that's, you know what? It's weird. Like St. Louis is not a major market. It's not Boston. It's not Chicago. It's not, Toronto, whatever. There's no Leaf fans there to buy up all the tickets, whatever. Whatever you can say what you want. That is the championship team this year.
Yep.
That's a marquee name.
It's not
And-
even, it's just a professional hockey game.
Yes.
You should
and
just be selling more tickets baseline.
in a city that loves hockey.
Yeah, Dallas Stars. It should still, yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's just professional hockey. Sell more tickets.
9,200 people. Lizzo sold more tickets in Toronto. Lizzo. She has one song.
She's been around for 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lizzo, guys.
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's a good song.
It's a good, yeah.
Good as hell.
She
It's not
got-
bad.
she's
Water
got a
means
couple.
good too.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad.
You don't sing that in the shower? Come on, I do.
Craig Andersen said, I had worse when I started my career in Chicago. And he was referring to when things were really bad with Bill Wirtz as the end neared. And then he died in 2007. And the Blackhawks started winning cups in 2010, 2013, 2015. They have sold out, by the way, the Blackhawks have sold out 500 consecutive games.
That's a couple games.
Crowds
Holy.
visiting for Tampa Bay, the regular season champs,
Sure.
and Minnesota on Thanksgiving Monday were better, but only slightly.
Well, people had the day off.
Yeah, the people had the day off. So how many people came to the Lightning game, guys?
12,000.
The Lightning game?
Yeah.
Oof, I'm going to go.
Stamkos, Kucherov, like big stars.
You said 12? I'll say 11.
Can I interject there? Because, yes, you get to see the stars, but also I'm like, if I'm a Sens fan, I'm like, they're going to get killed. Actually,
won.
I think they won.
Yeah,
but
they won that game.
But I go into it assuming they're going to get killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a Saturday night game. 11,000 people, almost on the dot. That's just what sold. Remember that. That's not who showed up. And the matinee versus the Wylde on Monday. Guess how many showed up?
Big proponent of matinee. Hockey.
Love matinee.
I'm going to go another 11.
Okay.
10-5.
11-5.
Hey.
4 home dates. After 4 home dates, the Senators drew 15,000 for their October 5th home opener against the Rangers. They ranked 30th of 31 teams overall in attendance with an average gate of 11,715. And
Who's 31? Islanders?
I don't actually know.
Oh, Panthers.
It's not the Panthers. Even the traditionally wanting audiences for the Florida Panthers are ahead of Ottawa. The Florida Panthers this year, despite Bobrovsky's terrible start, are averaging 14.5.
Oh, good for them.
All right.
Tickets in Ottawa are also Florida-style cheap. StubHub seats are listed for $12 US in the hours leading up to the St. Louis game. $12 US. It's the New York Islanders.
It's about $80 Canadian.
Yeah, right? The New York Islanders rank below Ottawa at 11,300 a game, and a part of that is I don't know how much the Coliseum sits anyway.
More than that.
15 maybe? That's surprising.
Florida?
More than that. Wait,
Or
where?
The
the
Coliseum.
Islanders?
No, the Islanders.
Oh,
The Islanders
that
are
I
the
don't know.
worst attended team in the league,
Yikes.
which is, I gotta say,
Well,
for
if
all
they
the-
sold
for-
the thing out, they'd be fine.
yeah, but for all the shit about Tavares and what a great hockey market, they consistently don't go. They made the playoffs last year. They won a division. Where are you, Islanders fans? Or maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe it's because
Islanders fans are there.
they have 2 arenas. Yeah, they have 2 arenas that they play in. That's probably it.
I don't know.
Season ticket sales, all-time low. A source, according to Wayne Scanlon's article, says as low as 3,500 total seats sold.
Which, man, if you have some money to spend, get in now.
Oh, I would get in. I'd buy a seat license now because they're going to be good eventually.
Seat license.
One day.
That's
but
expensive, but
you'll
Buy
be
the
sitting
license.
on that for half a decade.
Buy the license. You could sell the license.
2.
how about this? Sell your
2
seats to
out.
every Leaf game and make half your money
Make
back.
all your money back. Yeah. This is bad, guys.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because, again, a lot of the blame's going to go towards Eugene Melnyk. And I think rightfully so.
Well, there's no reason to be jacked about this team right now, man.
There is a reason to be jacked about the future, though.
For sure.
The Leafs, listen,
When that comes.
this team is better than the Leafs 2015-2016 team. There's more to root for.
15, 16?
That's the PA Parento year.
Oh, yes.
100%
Okay,
this team is better.
Yeah, sorry.
They have Shabbat, they have Shachuk, they've got good young players. Brandstrom. There are players on this team worth watching. The Leafs in 2015-2016, Mike Babcock's first year, it was like Nazem Kadri, Morgan Riley, and
That's it.
Van Riemsdyk for
Phaneuf
half
was
the
still
season.
there for a little bit.
Started the
Yeah,
Yeah, that's when he's
Van
traded.
Riemsdyk was out halfway through the year with a broken foot, and they just held him out.
Bosey.
Bozak.
Yeah.
That was it. There was no future. Nylander was in the Marlies. Marner hadn't been drafted. No, Marner was in London.
Yeah.
And Matthews hadn't been drafted
Greatest
yet.
team of all time, London Knights.
That's right.
2015, 16.
Nylander was a Marley mid-season, I
Yeah.
think. Oh, my God.
That is crazy town.
That's not good, man.
No, and I don't have anything else to add to it other than wow.
That sucks.
But can you blame them? And I don't think I can.
No.
So what brings them back?
The first overall pick this year, as provided by the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, right.
What if
Winning brings them back.
What if in some other reality, Ottawa had kept all of the guys they traded away?
Duchesne and
Duchesne, Carlson, Dzingel.
We're able to keep.
We're
they
able
all
to
wanted to
keep
go.
all these guys.
Yeah, they wanted to go.
Are they
Carlson keeps
they're
acting
a
like he
decent
didn't,
team.
though.
Right.
I
when
don't
he
know.
did.
I wonder about that. I wonder if that's a nice little narrative. I don't know.
Well, and
Sure.
maybe he wanted a fresh start after.
But
Obviously
he
the
said
tragedy
no.
there,
But even when he was traded last year, he said no. I wanted to stay.
well, I think that's basically him going, firing a shot across the bow at ownership.
You guys really screwed this up.
Right.
Fair enough.
The Hoffman deal is tough.
The Hoffman deal.
Because like, if you wanted to sort out that locker room issue, like, okay, you traded one of them, and then you proceeded to trade another really good player for virtually nothing. Mm-hmm. And then watched another team get more for him than you did an hour later.
Yeah.
How do you?
But that was also because they
get
wouldn't trade within the division.
Toilet?
They wouldn't trade within the division. They wouldn't trade within the conference. I don't know why.
Guess who he plays for? The Panthers.
Exactly.
Who have more fans going to their games.
By the way, Mike Hoffman, nobody wanted him in our fan tracks thing. I selected him. He's the highest scoring person on my team.
There you go.
He's been incredible this year to start, even though the Panthers have not.
What's your Corsi?
Yeah.
Fucking high, man. No, I'm not doing well. I'm really not doing well. I've already lost. So, yeah, winning brings them back. I guess the better question, and I should have said this, is there any... Eugene Melnyk, you got to remember, when he came in, was a hero in Ottawa.
Winning in a frickin' building in a place where people want to go.
Eugene Melnyk was a hero, though, because he saved them from bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. He was such a hero that he actually got... Didn't he get a liver transplant from a fan? Like
yeah.
he needed an organ donor and a fan reached out?
I think we're probably missing a few parts.
Sure, but
yes.
But member of the community, guy people really liked, and saved the team. Mm-hmm. Now, he is considered the villain, and I wonder if there's ever a way that Eugene Melnyk could ever be a hero again. Can they ever re-embrace, and Ottawa fans, please reach out, I want to know, what would it take for you to say, you know what, let's end the Melnyk out campaign. It's got to be a total reversal of behavior, right?
Well, he hasn't given them a ton to hate recently, really. Well, dude,
it's a low bar.
I know it's a low bar, but it's a step in the right direction. They're going young. They're going rebuild.
Right.
I'm trying to think of examples where everyone was like, screw this owner, get rid of them, and then that owner did a 180. Mm-hmm. Was able to pull off the 180. Other than the Wirtz family, which is different. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This all ends. The solution seems pretty logical. This ends with whatever scenario brings the Ottawa Senators to an arena in Ottawa or somewhere that's much easier to get to.
Yeah, not Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on in Boston?
Oh, they had, I think they spent $10 million renovating the seats in the Boston Garden, or in TD Garden.
Oh, I think I saw this.
And what happened?
No one freaking fits in the seats.
They added seats.
There's no, if you're
yes.
even my size, you're
the actual
shoulders,
chair.
They made them smaller.
There's no elbow room, and in front of you there's no leg room.
Yeah, the pictures are crazy, Jesse. It would
you
be
would have a terrible time. Jesse
remember,
wouldn't fit.
No,
I got a lot of knees going on here.
You seriously, you'd concuss the person in front of you.
I find something comical about, or you find something comical about my automobile, but at the arena.
That's terrible. So I assume they were just trying to add extra seats into the building, and they squeezed it a little too tight.
I'm not sure. I'm not here. I'll try to find a photo and send it to you so you can use it on the screen. It ain't good. It is not good at all. It looks really uncomfortable, really shitty. I wonder.
What do you think they'll do about that?
I typed in TD, and the second thing that comes up is TD Garden seats.
I got it.
What do I think they'll do about that? They have. You found it?
Yeah. Have TD Garden seats gotten smaller? It's a tight question for fans.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, if you're just sitting there, not man-spreading or anything, and you just have your arms at your sides, you're touching the person next to you. And that's like a raucous building. They got a great crowd, but, part of being loud and boisterous and enthusiastic is you got to be having a good time. Are you having a good time in those seats?
So I'm looking at the seats right now, and there's a guy who's posted 6 photos together in a diptych
photo
match
we're looking at the same thing. Yeah.
And his girlfriend and him are not big people.
No.
And he can't, he can barely fit. By the way, somebody in that picture has a Torrey Krug jersey. Shout out. Love Torrey Krug.
He's on your team, right?
He is on my team.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's and look at the bottom left one where the guy's leg is just hanging over the other seat that someone happens to not be in. If you're slightly bigger, dude, you're having a terrible time at that game. So, but how do you fix that now? It's October.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
mid-season.
something they can fix until this off season.
So you just have shitty seats.
Maybe, I was going to say maybe December if they have like 2 weeks off or something, a road trip, but that doesn't sound like, with the Celtics playing there too, it's not like you shut down the arena.
Exactly.
Look at this. This guy named Mike Conrad tweeted on October 12th at TD Garden at NHL Bruins. So they say first impressions are everything. I'm okay with the leg room in the balcony, but being 5'11" and 200 pounds, which is essentially I'm heavier than this guy. I'm like 5'11" and probably 210. The seats are not wide enough. And I'm a new season ticket holder, going to have to decide if I renew or not. # too fat.
Oh.
So
Well,
it says,
if you're not comfortable, and you could be the biggest Bruins fans on earth, but if you're going to hate 2.5 hours of your life, is it worth it?
it says nearly all the additional capacity comes from new seating in the arena's 8th and 9th floors, the Garden says, adding that only 20 seats were added to lodge it in balcony areas.
Come on.
The problem appears to be the seats themselves. The newly designed seats feature cushioning on bottom and back of all seats. Previous seats did not have padding. New armrest design and increased seat back height and the overall ergonomics may contribute to a smaller seat feel for guests. We remain open for feedback and will continue to work with fans. Their statement is such bullshit.
Feel with my eyes?
They say, for the first time in nearly 25 years, we've updated the seating inside TD Garden. We've received feedback from fans and can appreciate that. As with any change, it takes some time to get used to.
It's shitty. It's shitty.
It takes some time to get used to such major changes. Wow.
And they fucked up in Boston.
Wow.
All their fans are going, no, fuck you. Feedback, get used to it. How about you go fuck yourself and give us better seats? Ooh. Yeah, not good.
Good luck, Boston fans.
Good luck. That sucks. Come on.
Yeah. Anybody's going to watch a Celtics game or a concert or a Bruins game, it's going to suck all year.
Concert would be brutal.
Well, unless you were standing the whole concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, it's rare few acts that can actually get you to stand the whole concert.
The whole concert, right.
Man, craziness. Hey, did you know the Coyotes were on a 10-game losing streak dating back to last season?
Are they?
Were. They beat the Jets. They
And
just
the
beat
Jets were outplaying them for like most of that game.
Yeah.
And nothing was going in, and then
I
the
thought
Coyotes
Kemper,
ended up winning that.
didn't Kemper have a shutout this season?
I don't know. I didn't know this was a thing.
He's
but-
looked great.
Yeah.
thought he did.
They
Of
snapped
course he
a
did.
10-game losing streak in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Oh, in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I'm confused. They've lost 10 games.
I don't know what the location has to do with it, but...
Oh,
No,
no,
it
I thought
wasn't.
you meant 10 straight against
maybe
Winnipeg.
maybe it is in Winnipeg.
I think
maybe I'm
it is,
wrong.
because Kemper's definitely gotten a shutout this season.
Oh, okay. Well, then screw that. Who cares? It's not even a story. Now I got to ask you something. If you're the Pittsburgh Penguins,
Pittsburgh Penguins.
are you worried about taking on a real team tonight?
Oh, who are they playing? Not the Leafs.
No, they're not playing the Leafs. By the way, a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins fans reaching out. And by the way, everybody from Pennsylvania, you can tell because they're like, you're hilarious.
And they're getting it.
Pens fans outside of Pittsburgh are the ones that don't get it. Because they're the ones going, because listen, the Penguins are second in the Metro. They're
they?
not doing that bad. They're 4-2-0. They're
That
fine.
division's not great.
But they are taking on the 5-0-0 Avalanche, the Nazem Kadri and the Colorado Avalanche tonight. It is a big test.
Hurts my heart.
Do you believe Steve Dangle? So you can be in this boat with me. Do you believe that the Pittsburgh Penguins finally beat a real team tonight?
Yes,
You believe it?
I do. One, because it's purely despite us.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay.
100%.
Fair.
Although McKinnon versus Crosby, that's a fun matchup.
That is a fun matchup.
The Cole Harbor Bowl.
The Cole.
I like that.
The Cole Bowl. That's what I'm calling it.
I feel like, wasn't it Edmonton was undefeated and they played the winless Blackhawks and the Blackhawks won? I think we'll see something. Well, no, this won't be like that, though. The Penguins are on a heater. I think it's just going to be a great
I
game.
mean, are they on a heater? Or are they just winning
They're
games
on
they should win?
I mean, you win 3 straight, and there's only 6 possible games to win or whatever. That's a heater. I would say it's an early season here.
You can't even. We're at a point where you can't even do your last 10.
Yeah.
They're 4-2 in their
exactly.
last 10.
Exactly.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But only 4 wins in their last 10.
You know.
Only 2 losses in their last 10.
It's not bad.
pretty
Not
good.
bad. Yeah, hey, they're wow.
You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, but they are
Here's
second.
a stat for you.
They are second in the Metro. So, Pittsburgh.
I think they win.
Tonight, I hope you beat a real team.
Wow.
But also, it'll be really fun when you don't.
Wow. I hope your mentions aren't a complete shitstorm.
Oh, no, they were wicked fun. I had a blast with it.
Were they wicked fun, Adam? Were they?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Listen, if I can't go head-to-head against the Pittsburgh Penguins, because that's the rivalry we all saw coming, what can't I do? Or what can I do? Excuse me. Hey, Sabres. They're the head of the Atlantic Division right now.
Sabres?
11 points, 5 wins, 1 overtime lost. Are they for real?
We did this last year. 10 straight wins. Thanks, Buffalo.
True.
You know what, though? They're getting production out of... I love, hey, who's that guy scoring once the season begins? And Buffalo has the best hey, who's that guy in the league.
Who's that guy?
I think his first name is Victor. Olofsson?
Victor Olofsson.
Hey,
yeah,
who's that
yeah.
guy?
Hey, who's that guy? Well, in his first career, his first 12 career NHL games, so that's this year and last year, he's got 7 goals.
Wow.
All 7 of those goals on the power play. He's yet to score an even strength goal
Oh,
in
well,
his career.
let's not pay attention to him. Then.
Yeah, let's ignore him straight up. No, but he's doing amazingly, and he just seems like a classic late bloomer. Because he was a 7th-round pick in 2014. But if you look at his past couple years, he was in the AHL last year, murdered it. Just snipe show, more goals than assists type of guy. If you look at his final season in Sweden, second highest scoring player on that team, former Leaf prospect Carl Grundstrom. Highest scoring guy on that team, Victor Olofsson.
Interesting.
Grundstrom, or I can't remember, it might have been Grundstrom. Second highest goal scorer on that Swedish team. Had 17 goals. Olofsson had 27. I think he had 30 in the AHL last year, and I think he's already got 6 this year on the power play. He's real good.
So they might be for
having
real.
a real good start.
So they might be for real.
Yeah. Well, maybe. You got to keep in mind though that they're power play goals and they don't count. So got to remember.
Do you ever get... Let me ask you something.
Petty, yes.
Petty?
Oh, God.
Do you ever get heat for any of this shit? Because I get it all the time. Do you ever get anything?
I think they're like, oh, Adam's nice.
What do you... Really?
Yeah, Adam's nice, so I'm gonna pick on him.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, they bully you.
Because I don't...
You're all bullies of Adam
Because I
Wylde.
don't get... when you say shit like, if I said that, people would fucking lose their minds.
Well, they know I'm being cheeky and also totally mean it. So it's a weird mixture. It's a weird mixture, being cheeky and totally meaning it.
Another one I want to do.
I do though. Like I don't know.
You do, though. You do mean it.
I mean it. I mean it. Well, the Bruins should have never even made it to the second round because special teams don't count. So, you know.
The Oilers for real? Do you believe yet?
I think confidence is a big thing, and they're handling their goaltending about as good as they can. But the Oilers are always one injury away from being dog shit. So,
But they're also 2 of the best players in the world away from like a Stanley Cup run. If McDavid and Draisaitl continue to be 1-2 in the league in point scoring, it's gonna be a crazy season for them.
they're such a weird team because like even like if you in a complete fantasy scenario, if you took the Stanley Cup champions, like if you took the Blues and you gave them a month off, and like fresh off the Stanley Cup, and you know you gave the Oilers a month to prepare a playoff series, the Oilers, even last year's Oilers, still give them shit. Because do you want to take on McDavid and Draisaitl in a playoff series?
Right.
I don't care how shitty the rest of the team is. That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
4 to 7 games of that shit.
If you just get decent defense, that top line can outscore you. If they're playing together, and if they're not, then it's just 2 lines that'll come at you.
It's brutal. It's and all you need is like a couple of your depth guys to heat up, and all of a
Right.
sudden, oh shit, what do we do?
Yeah, and league average goaltending, and you have a team. And that's what they look like right now, and it looks like they're going to be decent.
And they're putting James Neal in a position to succeed. I don't think they're great, but I do think they're doing well enough in a division that kind of sucks to potentially make it, man. They might just make it.
Well, I want to ask you about that, but I'm looking at something. Fox Sports actually, they do a really good job of tracking something that's harder to find, and that's ice time. I don't know. I don't think NHL.com even do they offer ice time?
Well, apparently
They
it's
do.
garbage.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I guess it is a little garbage. Okay. So, time on ice per game. Connor McDavid, currently at 22.5.
That's a lot. For a forward, that's a shitload.
Leon Draisaitl, currently at 22.35.
That's a lot.
The only other players around them that are even close, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 20 minutes. And we're talking,
That's a lot.
We complain about Matthews and Tavares only getting 18 minutes.
And Nugent Hopkins is playing more than both.
Yeah.
More than any Leaf forward, I think.
Every other person on their team that's above McDavid and Draisaitl are either defensemen, which are Clefbaum and Nurse, or goalies in ice time. Stollers, Koskinen, and Talbot.
Yeah.
Because it tracks that for some stupid reason. Who cares?
You know, they're getting criticized for that.
Goalie time.
Yeah, like why would they even put that in there? Like, stupid. Come on.
They're getting criticized for how much they're playing McDavid and Draisaitl, and they might burn out throughout the course of the year. But just like we were talking about last episode, and it's not a slight against how they've started the season, it's just a fact. Their October is easy. Mm-hmm. Compared to most teams around the league, their October is easy, and there's a lot of rest. So if you know they're fresh as a daisy because it's the beginning of the season, and you have a lot of rest in October, ride those ponies. Mm-hmm. Let them go. Let them go. And then in November, December, when things tighten up or whenever their schedule tightens up, that's when you dial it back, and that's when you got to challenge your depth guys to be a little bit better.
You got to win a lot of games now and play 500 hockey all the way to the playoffs, and they will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Could happen. Could happen. We've seen teams, the Leafs, do it.
It's saying here, and I could be reading this wrong, that McDavid has already taken 1,998 shifts
In his career.
Yeah.
This season.
That's a career number.
It says 1998, and it's this season.
That doesn't make
No.
sense. Adam.
Does that? I know, right? That doesn't make sense, does it?
No. He's probably taken 30, 40.
Yeah, you take like 35, 30 a
Something.
game. Yeah.
Maybe shift
McDavid's
means something
probably
else.
Lower.
Shifts. It just says shifts.
No, that's wrong.
That's right.
Well, it says
Seconds played?
Yeah, maybe it's not
No,
shifts.
No,
Adam.
it's shift. Shift
Then
per
it's
game.
his career.
Well, listen. Look,
It's not this season.
I don't even know if he's played
That
that in
must-
his career. I don't know.
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Have you tried Hockey Reference? They're really
Ice
good.
time per game. I got to look this up. Can you check that out?
What am I looking at?
You're looking at. Is that Hockey Reference that I have it?
They're really good with the stats.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up. Let me just look this up. I know this isn't great. Steve, stretch for time.
Okay.
Talk about Easter sales.
I was just about to. So,
It's
Jesse.
going on Steve Cam. Look at Steve Cam.
Jesse?
Yes.
I believe it was the great Mike Bon Jovi who said,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Michael, he's very good.
Yeah, it's
Michael,
Michael
he
Bon
prefers,
Jovi.
it's like Alexander Kerfoot.
Yeah.
Mike Bon Jovi once said, "Whoa, we're halfway there." And then the song ended. I think that's how it went. You know who else is halfway there? Rachel's Raiders.
Oh,
We passed $25,000 today.
Rachel's Raiders, who are
Our hockey team for the Eric Lindros Celebrity Hockey Classic. So we're trying to raise money for Easter Seals Ontario, which is a charity that helps out kids with physical disabilities. We set a lofty goal of $50,000.
It's a lot of money.
Today, someone gave me $2,500.
Wow.
Charles Huber is their name. No relation to Evan. But that has allowed us to pass $25,000.
Charles Huber, inventor of the pumpernickel.
The bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Or it could also be the name of a bike.
Yes.
Sounds like it. Penny farthing.
So,
Yeah. So, but we're only halfway there. And I don't feel like living on a prayer, said Mike Bon Jovi. So if you could continue to donate to the team, that would be wonderful. Visit my pin tweet, Jesse's pin tweet. Adam, have you pinned it yet?
I have pinned my tweet.
I know you have, because Adam Wylde running up the standings,
Ooh.
$511.69.
69 cents.
69
By the way,
cents.
there was a Caps fan that reached out and they're like, I donated $34 because that's Tom Wilson's number.
It is?
Is it not Tom Wilson? No, whatever Tom Wilson's number is.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell. Numbers are confusing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They donated that, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah, but go through our team's page, visit Rachel's Raiders on there. It's not hard to find. There's other people to donate to if you want. People who you may know. There's me. There's Jesse. There's Adam. There's TJ from the Virgin Radio Morning Show is going to be on that team. Mike Stevens from TheLeafsNation.com.
Is Mike Stevens going to play like Trevor Moore?
That's
a question.
Better get that butt game up, sir. Ken Reed is signed up. Also Harrison Brown.
Is Ken Reed on our team? Or is he on?
Yeah, he was being wishy-washy about how many games he's going to play, but
Okay.
He's going to get there and want to play them all.
Ken's old.
All right.
But
Ken, are
Harrison
you
Brown
old?
is going to come and be our best player easily.
Are you old, Ken?
At heart. And if you're old at heart, I mean, that's good enough, right?
Hey, by the way, I'm just checking this time on ice. So this is completely different from the Fox one. So according to
Right.
Hockey Reference for the 2019 season,
Yeah.
the time on ice total leader is Mike Smith, obviously, at 239 minutes. The next highest guy, no, this is important.
On the Oilers.
Yes, the next highest guy is Leon Draisaitl.
Ahead of Koskinen?
He's averaging 25 minutes a game, according to Hockey Reference. He's ahead
What?
of
That's such a huge discrepancy.
Oscar Klefbom at 24,
Can
Nurse
we-
at 24, McDavid at number 5 on the team with 23.10 per game.
Can we just say that we don't have the numbers on this?
Yeah, this
Well,
is
Hockey
trash.
Reference should be good, right?
They are.
But don't you think you're asking for trouble if you're playing a guy that much?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the numbers. It's 26,
Whether it's
23,
22 or
25, 21, 26. Is Draisaitl, anybody who's an Edmonton fan, is Draisaitl really playing 26 minutes a game?
I think it could
Check
be
the
a
game
penalty
logs.
kill thing.
Still, dude.
Still.
Holy
I
moly.
know.
Those are defenseman numbers.
Yes.
Like
and he's
top
got higher than them.
defenseman numbers.
Like Klefbom and Nurse are less than him. That's a lot.
Okay, then what they're doing isn't sustainable then.
Not right now.
Draisaitl did average 22 minutes last season, which is a little more reasonable, but still crazy high. And he's up at 25 this year.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Hockey Runs has it. Yeah, 25.
And they're winning games.
Well, it's working for them. Good for them. Plus, he's in the prime of his life. If there's ever a season you can do it,
It's when you're 24.
do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the press conference, shall we?
For today's press conference, we have to go to my Instagram account, which I'm going to fire up.
Oh, I guess we need a pen, huh?
No, we don't.
Hey, all right.
Fun fact. Go here to our lovely friend, David Goggins.
Oh, that's our boy.
So someone tagged my Instagram account in this David Goggins post. And I'm going to read it to you guys
I'm ready.
because I'd like to know what you think about it. Are your ears ready?
Is this the Rogan thing?
Are your ears ready?
Yes.
I'm ready.
It says, "You're right, brother. They don't know you. The mindset David Goggins is displaying here is a very foreign concept to most. Some will second guess Goggins for leaving the hospital to return to the mountains and finish what he started. And they're right. For most humans, this wouldn't be wise. But Goggins isn't most humans. He's one of a kind and a true savage. I certainly can't speak for David, but I don't believe this type of effort is new to him. It seems this might just be a microcosm of his life in a few days. If you haven't walked in his shoes, it's not really your place to judge his decision."
Yeah, it is.
So he left the hospital?
Yeah, it is.
He was in the I hope he's okay, first off.
Leaving the hospital because your fucking heart gave out to rejoin a race is fucking stupid.
Is that what
I
happened?
don't care who you are.
Dude, is that
So-
what happened?
As I eat a donut.
This is Joe Rogan had reposted this from Cameron Haynes, who's apparently a fan of David Goggins. He says, "Try to understand what a savage David Goggins is. The man runs the Moab 240. It's a 240-mile race, goes off course for 7 miles by mistake, so he has to double back, gets back on track at mile 200. He gets pulmonary edema and gets pulled from the race
You look
and
that up.
sent to the hospital. They release him, and he gets right back out there and finishes the race.
Edema or enema?
Edema.
Yeah, because I don't think a pulmonary enema is a thing.
No.
Pulmonary
I just said that.
edema
Yeah, what is that?
is a condition caused by excess fluid in the lungs. It's like almost like asthma. This fluid collects in the numerous air sacs in the lungs, making it difficult to breathe. And if you are an asthmatic like I am, you know how that feels, and that is scary. So he had that, and what else did he have? It was just that?
He just had that. He had that. He got that at 200 miles into this 240-mile race. He gets that, goes to the hospital, and then once they release him, he gets back out there and finishes his last 40 miles.
So here's what's more interesting about that. And you know what? If that's how he wants to live his life, God bless him, man. I have no
for it.
issues with that. The only thing,
crazy.
if you remember the original post, the only thing I took umbrage with was him saying, "I don't wear suntan; it's for soft motherfuckers, sunscreen or whatever." Yeah, okay, no, like cancer is cancer, man.
Yeah,
like,
you don't want skin cancer.
wear some damn sunscreen. Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, you can talk me into finding it.
I'm
you can
impressed
talk me into finding it impressive.
The man is extremely impressive.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you can't
No
talk
question.
me into finding it smart
or
or admirable.
That's fair.
I don't admire that.
Did you admire Patrice Bergeron playing with a punctured lung?
No,
You didn't?
no. I don't know if he knew
Oh, maybe
he was
know.
playing with a punctured lung.
No, maybe not. Pulmonary edema, as we said, caused by excess fluid to the lungs. Do you know what causes pulmonary edema?
Running 240 miles.
Jesse, do you have it up in front of you?
What?
What causes pulmonary edema? Because I do.
No.
Can you take a guess? Wild stab in the dark. Non-medical people that we are.
Running a lot.
Running a lot. The most common cause of pulmonary edema is congestive heart failure.
Jesus.
Now, that's not to say he had that, but heart failure happens when the heart can no longer pump blood properly throughout the body. This creates a backup of pressure in the small blood vessels in the lungs, which cause vessels to leak fluid. If that's what happened, damn, dude. But if you're a guy like that and you're built like that, part of me wonders, that's probably how you want to go anyway.
Yeah,
Like
a
there's-
Spartan.
Yeah, like
I want to go out on my shield.
If you are
Sure, whatever.
that passionate, that driven about something, like it's like guys who drive race cars and they die, and people around them are like, that's how they probably would have went on to die.
Actually,
Well, yeah, people are weird about death, man. I've heard that said about more than one person. Like it's you know what? You know who you hear it about a lot? People who sail. People who go and like they sail and they go out into like choppy seas and then they never come back, or they find the boat floating around years later and they're like, well,
I guess he didn't make it.
it was his favorite. It's how he would have wanted to go, out in the ocean.
Yeah.
And there, by the way, there are ghost boats, weirdly, floating around the Atlantic and Pacific right now that are just, and they find them from time to time and nobody's on them. Isn't that nuts? Yeah, it's creepy.
No, I don't like that.
Kind of cool.
It's a little bit cool.
It's a little bit cool.
Very Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, very much so.
My first thought was like, can I loot the boat?
Triangle.
Yeah, triangle. It's okay. I murdered a bunch of people, but I said hello to the townsfolk in Valentine, so my honor went up. It's like Corsi versus goals. It's 16 hellos for every murder. Howdy, partner.
Howdy. All right.
That was good.
It's usually how it is. Yeah.
There.
Jesse?
Have you ever, this is our only question for today. It's our best question that's ever been asked. It's from No09876543321.
He's a Jesse fan.
He is. This person writes, any chance of a dog fan reaction video? Just a fan of dogs reacting to how their dogs are doing?
I think we found what Steve needs to do in the summer.
Dogs reacting to how their dogs are doing.
Are you going to do
I think
DFRs?
it's people reacting to cute dogs. You should do a dog fan reaction. People
Yeah.
send in their video, their
Oh,
dogs.
where I just go, whoa.
Dude, yo, you can make so much money if you just like send
Stop
Steve a
it
video,
right now.
send Steve a video, and then he puts it in his video and does this. You should do a dog fan
People
reaction.
send you dog videos that they give you permission to use on your YouTube channel, and you react to them. Dog reaction videos.
Dude, that's a great idea.
That's it.
Dangle
This person's
reacts
a
to
genius.
dogs.
That's it. You should do this all the time, every day.
Frig
DFR.
it. Screw it. Yeah. Dog fan reaction. Sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
Done.
I'll do it. Yeah, this is what I choose to do with my life.
We just made you $1 million.
Let's scoff at the guy who runs 240 miles. We do dog fan reaction videos.
Hey.
Literally criticize a guy running a 240-mile race while eating a donut. And transition to
Yeah. So, what do you want? You want to fight about it? Steve will bench press your dad.
I will not bench press Joe Rogan, though. So,
No, you won't.
no. You will bench press me with his fingers. Yes. And then tell me about some ancient alien.
All top 10 episode of South Park, by the way. The Randy fighting guys in baseball stands. You want to fight about it? I thought this was America.
And trying to lose in baseball is just as hard as trying to win.
Yeah. Because they don't want to play anymore because baseball sucks. So they keep trying to lose the game, but they keep winning because the other teams are trying to lose more and they're better at losing.
Oh my God, they can hit themselves out.
Well, that's it for today.
No, this is America.
Yeah, this is America. We'll see you Sunday.
Should I tease the event?
What other? Oh, do you want to?
I could.
Or do you want to wait for Sunday?
Just wait.
I think you should wait. It's too late.
Early November. Big event to be announced. Look for it.
If you're
downtown Toronto.
If you're keeping track, get your clipboard out because we got a lot going on.
We do got a lot going on. November 7th, regulars. But there's something else coming up. Early November, downtown Toronto. You will not want to miss this.
Can you recap all the thingies?
Crown Royal Facebook post.
Okay.
Link is in our description. We will tweet that out as well. So make sure you tell them what inspired you to be generous, to live generously.
Why not?
And life can treat you royally with some tickets to the Boston Leafs game. We got Leo Vegas. Go to leovegas.net. You want to play hockey with Matt Sundin and potentially Steve Dangle? Because Steve wants to play back-to-back, but he's afraid that his back might not hold up.
It'll be back to back to back to back to back.
That's right.
With my back.
You can do that at leovegas.net. Open to Ontario residents only. I said all that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be at Regulars. It's a great bar in downtown Toronto, November 7th. Look it up, seriously. And here's the great thing. No tickets, just come.
Just come.
We'll be on at 5:45. We're going to go till 6:45. And then we're probably going to hang out and have some food, and the game will be on, and it'll be great.
What day is that?
That is a Thursday, November the 7th.
Okay.
VGK. There's somebody screaming on the outside of the studio right now.
You probably heard it.
Did I miss anything?
No.
Oh, Easter seals.
Oh.
By the way,
that's the 14th.
yes, I got to ask a question.
14th is the draft party, yeah.
Did I?
That's when we got to raise money back.
Am I too ambitious in my 69, 69, 69?
Probably a little.
We raised $500 since the last show.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's true. Because I finally actually
Jesse's the one who's
posted it.
petered out.
No, I reached my goal. Hey.
Yeah, so you can just coast. You're right.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I did my work.
You can just put your feet up for a month.
I can because I got out ahead of it. I don't see anything wrong with what you're saying. Hey, guy who started early and got his job done because he reached his goal is doing bad.
Jesse sounds a tad defensive about
Hey,
this.
I set a goal and I achieved it.
Methinks the
I
producer
finished the 240 miles in one go. I don't have to go back out there and finish the extra 40.
That's a soft motherfucker attitude.
What is this slander? Sorry for achieving my goals early because I'm really great and I started early.
If you're satisfied with where you're at, that's fine.
Yeah, because I set a goal.
Yeah.
That was my satisfaction goal.
And that's where we leave you. We will see you Sunday. It's going to be lots of fun. Pittsburgh, good luck.
I'm upset.
By the way, to every Pittsburgh fan that reached out and said, Toronto hasn't beaten a real team either. And I say to them, this isn't about Toronto. This is about you guys bragging about your 3-game winning streak against teams that aren't going to make the playoffs.
Adam hates Pittsburgh. You know what Jesse hates? Kids.
That's great.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness. Connection complete.